solution was be the best.
If models start to speak up for themselves, then the industry would become better in terms of how people value models. Models are literally marketers.
You have to have tough skin. It's not just saying it, like you really do have to build like tougher skin.
Till today, I don't know how to walk normally. I catwalk everywhere I go.
Well, today on Arise 360, we're spotlighting a powerful new documentary that pulls back the curtain on the Nigerian fashion industry, revealing both its beauty and its darker hidden realities. Now, Model Citizen is a courageous and deeply human film that tells the stories of young Nigerian models confronting exploitation, labor violations and sexual harassment, while also celebrating their strength, resilience and artistry. The documentary shines a light on the lack of regulation within the modeling world, where issues like withheld pay, verbal abuse and assault go often unaddressed. Now, through intimate interviews, real-life stories and creative reenactments, Model Citizen gives voice to the women who experience this and are silenced. Joining us to discuss this groundbreaking project are the brilliant Aderunke Adeola, the writer and director, as well as the producer of Model Citizen, whose award-winning work explores culture, identity and social impact, as well as Nkem Chika Okarafo, one of the models featured in the documentary. She's also a stylist, producer and creative director committed to transforming the African creative industry. It's such a pleasure to see you again, ladies. Welcome to Arise 360.
Thank you for having us.
And I mean, I have seen the documentary. A lot of people maybe watching this are hearing about this for the first time. Talk to me about why you decided to tell this story and why it was important. And you follow up with why it was important for you to tell your story. Start with you.
I'd done some work in the fashion industry and I'm super inspired by designers. You know, our fashion is beautiful and groundbreaking, and I had fleshed out, I'd finished my first documentary and I wanted to do something contemporary. My first documentary was very historical. So I wanted to capture the creative process, how they turn their inspiration into this livable, wearable art that a lot of us wear. And when I was discussing the idea with sort of a mentor and an advisor, I had shared that, I had shared my idea. And this advisor said, you know, it's a bit obvious if you're going to do something on fashion to cover designers, as amazing as they are. Is there, you know, can you not explore something less obvious? And I was a bit dismayed, a bit disappointed. And I said, you know, what? Like what? And the person went on to say, what about the models? And my initial sort of knee-jerk response was, who cares about models? And it was obviously, when I said that, when I blurted that out, I was quite embarrassed by it. And I knew that that had to be an area that I explored. So it was very accidental. And I did the research. I spoke to 10, 15 models. Half of them didn't want to be in the documentary, but most of them were quite forthcoming and telling me their various experiences. And a lot of it was quite harrowing. I was quite shocked as to what they experience. You know, these are beautiful, dynamic, amazing women who they model Nigerian fashion and creativity, but what they have to go through, what some of them have to go through to do that is pretty disappointing.
Sorry, before we go to the next Nkem Chika, now why do you feel the ones you approached that refused to be in documentary? Why do you think they were reluctant to join? Was there a particular reason? Was it a case of being maybe blacklisted?
I mean, the first thing, being blacklisted, genuine fear, you know, because the modeling industry is fashion. It's also the music video industry. It's also commercial photography and advertising. So there's a major hit to their potential income.
Okay, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Why did I speak up? Honestly, I've seen enough shiggy. Since 2009, we shot this documentary in 2020 and we're in 2025 and we still have the same problems. Nothing has changed. There's a lot of people who just take advantage of models, and the industry encourages underage girls Like, you literally get to a certain age and they look at you like, oh yeah, you're old cargo, you can't be here anymore.
What age is that?
They're like 25, they're looking at you like you're old. So you literally start your modeling career from like 13, 14.
Wow.
And you're without a guardian, you're in spaces overnight with adults that you're not even sure of their moral bearings. Okay. And I've seen so many things happen over time. I've fought and spoken for so long. I've been blacklisted a couple of times. But at the end of the day, you cannot stop my shine. So, yeah, I just decided to speak out because it's the right thing to do, honestly. And I've experienced too much, and I would not want the next generation to experience the same kinds of things that we had to go through.
Okay, so for you, what was the most shocking thing you discovered during your production? That's for you. Then for you, Nkemjika, as the model, like, I want to tap into the experiences, or maybe not yours, maybe what you've seen your fellow models go through. Because we see I brought up like the Me Too movement, and some movements have exposed some, you know, business or entertainment moguls out there. In our industry, especially in modeling, is it the same case? Like, you know, we see young girls being, you know, groomed, you know, from a certain age. So I want to hear your experience, maybe from another person's lenses. Then, of course, what was a shocking revelation you found out during production?
So I think there were quite a few, but one that comes to mind is someone in the documentary who is no longer with us, unfortunately, passed away, Juliet. She saw an advert in the newspaper, a call out for models. And she attended she followed the directions, and it turned out to be a scam, a complete sham, and the person that had put that advert out there was basically trying to traffic her, you know, and that's something I never thought happened. Yeah.
Okay, what about you?
The experience that I know from other models also happened to me was whenever we went for international shows, our passports were taken from us.
Why? What reason?
The excuse from the agencies was, oh, we don't want you going to go and sign to another agency while you're here. But you're talking about 16, 17-year-olds. The oldest person there was probably like 19. And we were in a new country where we didn't know anybody and we didn't have our papers on us because they were being held in trust by our agents.
Was there a time they tried to make you guys do something, maybe to get ahead in your industry?
Oh, yes, definitely. They put us on very unhealthy, like, feeding regimens and programs, down to making people eat tissue paper.
Wow.
Just so you stay a certain size. Giving us pills, teas. Like, we didn't know what those things were doing to our livers. I ended up in the hospital at some point because my organs were failing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You know, what this really does, like, even just looking at my co-host's reaction, every time this conversation comes up, a lot of people, it's happening, but we don't really think about it. So talk to me about, you know, because of time, the awareness, what you intend to use this awareness to change and how you intend to do that.
I think this Model Citizen is an example of hierarchical and class dynamics in Nigeria, in different industries, whether it's banking, whether it's in government, how we treat people who we think are lesser than us, you know, and I think that this holds a mirror to that, and hopefully it can spark conversation. And, you know, in me doing this, I was confronted with my own bias. When someone suggested do a documentary on models, I said, who cares? Who cares about these people? And I was really shocked. I didn't know I felt that way. So I'm hoping that it causes some sort of at least internal shift. And in terms of external shift, I'll leave that to Nkem.
In 30 seconds, because we really have to go, but I want you to touch on what you're doing. Talk to me about the guild before we go.
So I'm putting my hand up, I'm putting my foot forward to start up the Model Guild of Nigeria, and the basis of it is just to establish, like, proper pay, proper conditions for models. We're not asking for too much, we're asking for the baseline. That's all.
Respect.
Okay. Respect. R-E-S-P-C-T.
Watch it on YouTube, please.
Yes, please tell us, where can we find it on YouTube?
So, yeah, Aniota Media on YouTube. So you can just Google Model Citizen, Aniota, you'll find it.
All right, then. Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you. I really love what you're doing.